Well, it's 5:45 in the morning, and Prince Diamond is leaving Atlantic Highlands. Continuing now our trip up the Hudson toward Buffalo. The boom is down and all the sails are down in preparation for going into the Erie Canal. And there goes the C Street ferry from Highlands on its way to Manhattan. 45 minutes, not too bad, it's a nice trip. And as well, we've got what looks like a nice catch here that's also left the anchorage at Atlantic Highlands just after we did. And I'm assuming he's wanting to catch the tide, so perhaps he's going up the Hudson as well. Or the East River. If he goes the East River, he's going to Long Island Sound and further up the coast of the U.S. And as we're approaching the Verrazano Narrows, it's a busy day. Already had to keep out of the way of container ship and a tug and barge combination. Yeah, the guidebook mentioned debris in the water. Look at the size of this thing. That's a huge couple of logs bolted together. I'm gonna have to keep my eyes open. This is a tugboat Nanticoke that passed me earlier. It's pushing some strangely interesting barge here. I don't know what this is. Right now he's just come to anchor in the harbor, like a few others that are around. Good old Staten Island ferry. I have a photograph of myself on one of the Staten Island ferries. Oh, I guess I must have been about 5 years old. Of course, Statue of Liberty there in behind. And of course there's the Statue of Liberty. It's after a recent refurbishment, once again open to the public. You can go up to the Crown, but in order to get tickets to go up to the Crown, you've got to get them about 2 months in advance. So that's why I didn't go over there. Even to go onto the island would be a couple, 2 or 3 weeks in advance.
Turned around and we headed out.
And just north of the Statue of Liberty is Ellis Island. There's actually no visitors allowed over there at the moment because they're doing another one of their renovations. The island is closed to visitors. You should see that ferry boat listing. Everybody's over on one side of the boat to look at the Statue of Liberty. And I thought there was something seriously wrong going on over there when I first noticed it. From looking at the stern, the boat's heeling over about 10 degrees. I'm sure that they've taken that into account when they built it. Nice little scow there, eh? What do you think? Prince Diamond sailing past Manhattan. And on the opposite shore is Jersey City. Okay, guess what it is? It's a driving range. New York's got everything. And this is the Intrepid Museum. It looks like they've also got the Concorde there. Well, just around Yonkers, this is the famous Palisades. 800-foot high basalt walls on the west side of the river. After a calm night at Croton Park area, continuing on the way up the Hudson, coming up to Jones Point. Been some beautiful scenery along the way. Big guys enjoying the sights. And the little lady's relaxing. Why not? She's on her medication for her tumor, and it's making some of her hair fall out here and there in clumps. At least I'm finding more clumpy hair around on the floor. When I get to Albany, I'm going to get an appointment with a vet to check her medication. See that her liver is able to stand, or her kidneys are able to stand the medication she's on, to try to shrink that tumor down. And ahead you can see Bear Mountain Bridge. We're going to stop, I believe, and if they allow dogs on shore at Bear Mountain State Park, we're going to anchor there for the night and take a look around. I believe my parents had a picture or two of Bear Mountain in some photographs from before I was born. And I believe they may have a picture of the bridge. And so we've come ashore here at Bear Mountain State Park, and going to see if they'll let the dogs partake in any part of this park at all. And there's Prince Diamond at anchor in the little bight between the ferry and dinghy dock here and Iona Island. And this is a huge pool that's nestled between two hills here in the park. It's really interesting to think that my parents were here at one time, a couple of years before I was born. That way on the brow of the hill leads down toward the dinghy dock in Anchorage. Well, the park here is basically a zoo and trailside museum displays, which dogs are not allowed to enter that area. That large pool that you saw, and this mountain lake here. And there's a path that goes around the lake, so we're going to take a walk around and get the bird's eye view from the other side. A lot of people picnicking here. It's quite beautiful and, you know, very forested. It's lovely. And up on the hillside above the swimming pool, the next little cauldron up the hill, I guess you could say, is Hudson Lake. And using the modern miracle of mobile networks and my camera phone, I was able to take a picture of the dogs at this location, overlooking this beautiful spot here. According to the signs, I guess there's a merry-go-round in there. That's pretty unusual. This is the playing fields here. And the Bear Mountain Inn.
Message from Ramona.
Hi. It's a beautiful place. And just in case somebody didn't finish their supper, it's a vulture. I don't know if this thing's focusing. Overlooking the Hudson and the Bear Mountain Suspension Bridge. Well, this morning is the 31st of July and we're just out for a walk here. And check out my buddies here, the vultures. They haven't got the red head of the ones they were there yesterday, but anyway, lots of vultures around waiting for the tourists to drop. And as well, there's a number of turtles basking on the rocks. We're walking up the Major Welch Trail. That's Hessian Lake down there. That beautiful lake where the dogs were relaxing, overlooking it yesterday. This trail is supposed to go to the top of Bear Mountain. It's like Last of the Mohicans on that cliffside. The cliffside scene near the end. Okay, come on, let's go. We gotta stop for a minute and eat some grass. They walk more unencumbered with the leashes off. Dogs having adventures. Well, this has been quite a climb. Much of it has been now over rocks that are climbing at quite a steep rate. And I once had to carry Amber up over my shoulder like an infant, like I did in New York City that one day. And this time just because she's too tired to get up over some of the steeper areas. She has to haul up her hindquarters pretty well using her front end. So it's been quite challenging for everybody. We're climbing. We keep crossing a group of resting Japanese who are just ahead of us here, just out of sight. We've passed each other a few times. So we're going to take a little rest here before we attack this next little section. And this is the view from near the top. That's looking up the Hudson. We're still not there, but we're getting there. And that's where we came from, down there. It's the Bear Mountain Bridge. We've climbed about 1,000 feet altogether today, right from the water. It's looking south, down the river, and then north. And this is the observation tower at the top of the hill. And we're going to start down now. I'm under no illusions that this nice paved path continues, but, well, we can always hope. We're on our way back down now on another trail which is obviously a much easier trail. If I'd known the other one, the Major Welch Trail, was the way it was, I wouldn't have taken it. I didn't know there was something like this to the top. This is quite pleasant. Just stairs occasionally. more trains going up and down this river than you can possibly imagine. The west bank seems to be mainly freights, that's all I've seen on it, and the east bank is commuter trains going down to New York. Commuter trains happen even more often than freights do. Every few minutes there's another train going by. It's amazing. And this imposing selection of buildings here is West Point, the famous military institute. Be nice to go ashore and get a tour. They have tours, but well, I haven't got the time. And then with the dogs with me, it's difficult. Now there's something kind of stupid for you. There's a couple of guys out here swimming across the river. I'm gonna get the focus. Come on, baby, focus for me. I just barely saw the motion of one of them. There he is. Pretty fucking foolish. Hopefully there's just the two of them. And this very impressive looking structure here, this is Storm King Mountain. You gotta love that name, Storm King. That structure there is on Polypel Island, also known as Bannerman's Island. Frank Bannerman built a medieval castle on there as a summer home and a warehouse. And eventually the state took it over in '67, and in '69 it burned. And now no one's allowed on the island because it's too unsafe. Too bad, looks very interesting. As well, hundreds of feet below the Hudson River here, the Catskill Aqueduct carries fresh water down to New York City. It was completed in 1919. So, a river of fresh water underneath the river here. That's the 1st of August. Didn't I see you picking your feet in Poughkeepsie? Yeah, I'll leave that to the fans of the French Connection movie. This is Poughkeepsie, New York. Prince Diamond's leaving the small town of Saugerties. I'm not really sure how it's pronounced. Saugerties or Saugerties. Anyway, it comes from the Dutch word for sawmill. It was really quite a pleasant place to spend the night. Very quiet, peaceful. It's August 3rd. Today the mask comes down.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning of August 4th, and Amber's not going to make it. Until now, she hasn't had any problem with pain with this business, but tonight she just can't. She can't settle down. She keeps looking at her vagina. She can't settle down. That's my big girl.